couldn't put, there was 2 loads, I thought there was every bit 105 pounds plus, but
7 o'clock, November 13th, 2025. I'll call this regularly scheduled council meeting for the city of Santa Fe to order. Natalie, roll call.
Mayor Brandon Noto,
Excused.
Mayor Pro Tem Marks,
Here.
Councilmember Schrader,
Here.
Councilmember McCamey,
Here.
Councilmember Jeanette,
here.
and Councilmember Dickerson.
Excused.
We have a quorum.
All right, we'll begin with the invocation and prayer. We have Pastor Greg Lackey from Santa Fe Christian Church, who will lead us this evening.
Gracious Father, we thank you for allowing us into your presence today. You said where there's 2 or 3 of us gathered that you're there, so we thank you for being present. We ask your guidance in all decisions that will be made here, Father, that you might inhabit those. We ask for mercy for our people, and we ask, Father, that you would just grow our community, Father, that you would help us to do the things that we need to do to serve our fellow citizens. And we ask these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. All right, we'll do our pledges.
I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Trouble better get up.
Hey, Billy, would you see if that mic's on?
Catman
I
got
think you're
it.
ready. All right, first item 4, mayor's and city managers report. Mr. Collins?
All right. Do they need to approve the minutes first?
Oh,
Right. Okay.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
First thing is going to be presentation and approval of minutes for 9/30/2025 joint meeting, 10/9/2025 regular meeting, and 10/23/2025 regular meeting. Those agenda minutes are in your packet, council. Any questions?
Make a motion to accept minutes as presented.
Second.
Motion's been made and a second. Natalie, roll call.
Councilmember Schrader,
Yes.
Councilmember McCamey,
Yes.
Councilmember Jeanette,
Yes.
and Councilmember Marks.
Yes. All right, Mr. Collins, now you can have it.
All right, we're gonna jump right into our department reports, and so y'all have to bear with me because I'm gonna read it off of my slide because I can't see it off of the screen. So to start off, we'll start with our municipal court. We had 331 cases filed for the month of October, which was a significant increase from last month where we had 224. We had 101 warrants issued in the month of October. And then we had our collections went up to right above $50,000. So if you remember in September, we were right at $42,500. So definitely bringing in more revenues in the court. All right, we'll move to community services. We issued 162 permits for the month of October. 6 of those permits were new residential homes. We collected almost $59,000 in permit fees. We completed 216 inspections. And just for everybody's information, the CenterPoint Service Center project is still ongoing. I think on social media today it was asked again what the project
I was going to ask what that was.
So just to remind our citizens, that is the new CenterPoint Service Center that's going in there.
Do you have any idea, are they on schedule or?
They are on schedule.
Somebody asked me expected completion date. Did they get one?
They planned on being in that building and up and running by this time next year.
Wow.
That's what he told me. He said, we plan on having people in this building by this time next year.
It's a start goal. We're supporting them doing it. All right, next is our Parks and Community Center update. So for Runge Center, we had 5 rentals. We had 0 at Thelma Weber. I think that's because people found out that the city took over Runge, so maybe they're jumping in on there. And then at Timberella Park Pavilion, we had 1 rental, so we brought in almost $1,600 in revenues from that. Next is for the police department. We had 3,538 calls for service. We had 63 arrests for the month of October. Our officers completed 686 traffic stops and issued 228 traffic citations, which is a significant increase from the month before. Under the CID, Criminal Investigation Division, they have 74 active cases. They cleared 23 cases, and they had 19 cases in that division. Next is for the library. For the month of October, Ms. Becky hosted over 30 programs. I can tell you, I think that you probably saw more kids this month than October, almost a rival summer reading. But a lot of great programs that came for the month of October with fall and Halloween. So we had right over 2,200 total circulations. We have 71 active accounts. The door count was almost 2,700, so the per capita was right above 18%, and our taxpayers saved $17,650 roughly by having the library open. The next thing I want to highlight is our librarian, Miss Becky, at the TML conference. So this was huge for the city of Santa Fe. Miss Becky was on the panel discussing innovations for libraries across the state. And she did a fantastic job, and the room was packed. It was an auditorium, and she did great speaking. We're very proud of you, Miss Becky. Thank you for your leadership. All right, in the city secretary's office, they had 35 social media engagements. They had 8 open record requests, and they had 1 new hire for the month of October, and that is one of our former employees. She came back, Miss Belinda McCrory, as our community services assistant. So we're glad to have her back at the city of Santa Fe. Any questions, council? All right, we'll move on to the next.
All right, item number 5, citizens' comments. Any person with city-related business not on this agenda may speak to the council. Time is limited to 3 minutes in compliance with the Texas Open Meeting Act. The city council may not deliberate on the comments. Personal attacks will not be allowed, and personnel matters should be addressed to the city manager during normal business hours. Anyone wishing to speak?
I have a few things to say.
Yes, sir, come on up.
Not walking too good, so give me a minute to make it there. I'm not that good at saying speaker either, but let me know when I run out of time. My name's Steve Thompson. I live here in Santa Fe at 13354 Pecan Trails, right across 1764, looking at the front door of Tractor Supply. And we've had an ongoing issue with early morning and throughout the night alarm activations at Tractor Supply at all hours of the day and night, and don't seem to be able to get anywhere dealing with Tractor Supply. So I made some couple of notifications to Mayor Noto. I believe he spoke with you once a month or two ago. And then I believe he spoke with you, Mr. Collins.
That's correct.
Just recently, a few days ago.
That's right.
One night, the most recent one, it went off 6 different times within one night. One series of 4 of those times was every 10 minutes. Mm-hmm. Shut off for 10 and go on for another 10. Shut off and go on over and over and over again. And at that time, I finally went to sleep. My wife was awake. She said it happened 2 more times before they opened the doors in the morning. And then the next night, it happened again at 3:18 a.m. And that's when I sent my latest message to Mayor Noto, and he contacted you. Mm-hmm. I don't want to, I'm just one guy. There's other people on the street that know it happens too, but nobody wants to speak up. But my house has a direct shot at the front of their building, and a direct line of sound travel from their sirens into my backyard. Everybody else is somewhat, on that side of our street, is somewhat shielded by businesses between them and 1764. So they hear it, but it's not enough to cause them to make any complaints to Tractor Supply. That's I'm not here to raise trouble for Tractor Supply either, because I use them myself. just that it's becoming difficult for me to go over there to use their services because of the inactivity that I see. They don't seem to be interested in making the problem go away. And I think it's not as difficult for them to do so as they might think so. It's just a matter of reprogramming an alarm, or perhaps alarm some sensors. I think they're movement sensors that are setting these things off. I don't really know. And I don't want it to get to the point to where it turns into the boy who cried wolf situation, you know, where people just don't give a shit. They don't care anymore, and don't bother saying anything at all. That's not fair to the business or the people that rely on that business. And I don't think you guys would ever, the sheriff's department, anybody would ever do that. But the last time I did call, I talked to a lady. It was about, I think it was 3 a.m, just recently, in the police department on the non-emergency line. And when I told her what I was calling about, she says, we get a lot of calls about that. From who, I don't know. I got the intimation that she was saying that they get calls to the police department from the alarm company at Tractor Supply, but not from the manager or any Tractor Supply employee themselves. You know, I don't know. I'm not privy to that information. What I'd like to do is, what I'd like to know is what the city can do about the situation. Because I need my sleep. As simple as that. I need my sleep. In the daytime it happens too, but you know, I'm awake in the daytime, so it's not really that big of a deal. It's that's just, I'd like to know what you can do. Keep me in the loop. You know, I don't know if the store manager has control over the way the infrastructure of his store is operated, or if it's a franchisee, or if it's a corporate store. I don't know that either. You know, it's out of my bailiwick, and that's something you could help me with. So whatever you can do, I would appreciate it, and just keep me in the loop, and I'll just keep making note of what happens and when. I don't want to make a nuisance of calling every time it happens. Because the problem has been known, and it's been going on for quite a while. That's all I got to say.
Appreciate it. You have his contact information?
If I can, Becky, would you mind getting his contact information for me? Thank you.
Seth, you know the whole background on this?
I do, yeah. We're working through this, so to bring them into compliance.
Anyone else with comments? Mr. Schrader?
I have a, kind of just a public announcement. I'm going to do it from here. I'm not going to do it from there. Y'all know who I am, where I live. Sunday, I attended the service of James Ray Hebert. He was born James Ray Hebert, but when they moved to Santa Fe, it was easier to pronounce Hebert, so he went with Hebert. He was my neighbor. He's my closest neighbor growing up. His wife Nita is a very, very big volunteer of our library and the Friends of the Library. And he actually died on July 19th. We had the service Sunday, but she was at an event, that next weekend. That's how dedicated she was. And it just, growing up, the Heberts came in later, but there were the Giles on that road and the Arnolds came in. Wasn't much out there. It's different now. But in our neighborhoods, we have people like this that you look.
Both parties are trash.
And I found out it was a military funeral. It was great. It was just a good service. And you learn a lot about people at a funeral that you never knew. And this man right here, when my dad had his stroke, best man that I could ever ask for, and a friend and a neighbor. My dad would fall, he'd help me get him up. My dad was a big man. But he was always there for me. And something I didn't know, and I learned at that service. I was sitting there, you know, you see the military stuff, the flag, and there's a table there with these pink pillows. And going through this, and I'm thinking, what is the significance of these pink pillows? Heart-shaped pillows. Juanita had breast cancer back early 2000s. Jimmy was with her through the whole thing. Stayed with her, rehab, everything. I mean, was there, she needed something, and the whole deal. She came out of it. One hard-working lady. She was mowing the ditch last weekend with a push mower. That, when she got out of that, they started making these heart-shaped pillows and giving them to breast cancer patients there at the hospital. I never knew any of this. I mean, never knew any of it. There's people, I mean, these have been my neighbors forever. I never knew they were giving back like that. I never knew they were doing something like that. And then at the time of his death, they had distributed 3,406 heart-shaped pillows. It blew me away. I mean, it blew me away. But these are, you know, we all have neighbors like this. I have several. The ones I mentioned, I grew up with Mr. Giles. Giles wrote, Mrs. Arnold, used to work for the city. Cindy Gillum, used to work for Commissioner Shannon. They all live right there. Those are people I grew up with, and they're all having a few medical situations, you know, and just we're a close-knit town. And I want everybody to remind, I mean, we might sometimes, you know, you might not think this, and you see all the chaos around us, but we're a close-knit town. We're Santa Fe. And it's this time of year, especially. You know, remember your neighbors. I tell you what, man, just go talk to him. I mean, I talked to Mr. Hebert all the time when he was there with my dad. I'd listen to those Army stories, and that was all kind of stuff. But never knew about some of that stuff. And just don't let it be too late, you know, that you find out about a great person and the things they did at their funeral. I just, I want to recognize Mr. Hebert tonight. And hopefully, in the future, we can recognize Mrs. Hebert for her accomplishments. I think it was just, I was blown away by that. And he also would make these little wood chips called tuits, and he'd hand them out to people, you know, if it's a restaurant or whatever, you know. If you get around to it, he goes, well, you don't have no more excuses, here's your tuit, you know. So that was one of his little quirks, but he was a good man, and I'm glad to know him, and glad to have grown up beside him as my closest neighbor and consider him a friend. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing that, Rusty. Anyone else? All right, we'll move on to business. Item number 6A, new business, consent agenda. Approving the execution by the mayor of a general and no litigation certificate representing the approval for the issuance of tax-exempt bonds for the acquisition and rehabilitation of the Seville Place Apartments, LaPorte, by Southeast Texas Housing Corporation, Seth.
This on the consent agenda. Oh, Seth, I'm sorry. I thought you meant to me. I'm sorry. And then Seth, the organization. I apologize. That's a cool name, huh? That's a good name. You just looked at me when you said that. I'll go with it.
Any conversation, council?
I move to approve the execution by the mayor of a general and no litigation certificate representing the approval for the issuance of tax-exempt obligations for the acquisition and rehabilitation of the Seville Place Apartments LaPorte by Southeast Texas Housing Corporation.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Natalie, roll call, please.
Councilmember Marks?
Yes.
Councilmember Schrader?
Yes.
Councilmember McCamey?
Yes.
And Councilmember Jeanette?
Yes.
Motion passes. Item number 2, consideration of possible action, adoption of a resolution of the City of Santa Fe, Texas, awarding a fuel supply and delivery contract to Widener Enterprises Incorporated for fiscal year 2025-2026, and authorizing the city manager to execute the contract on behalf of the city. Mr. Zepeda.
Mayor, council, Mayor Pro Tem and council, apologies. So back on September 26th, as you know, we went out for proposals for diesel fuel, and we didn't get the prices that we were looking for because they had gone up so much. So we went out for rebid at council's direction, and on November 3rd, we received 3 proposals on the rebid. One from Whitener, Midtex, and Synergy Petroleum LLC. And of the 3, the most competitive, which is a little bit higher than what we've been paying before, at 15 cents over rack price, is Whitener Enterprises, Inc. And they are our current provider now. So staff recommends that we continue and issue a resolution for Widener Enterprises as the winning bid. And in that agreement, there is a proposal that if the price doesn't change, we can extend it for up to 2 additional years so that we don't have to come back to council every year on this particular contract.
Good.
Anything, sir?
No.
And that's the company in Alvin, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Lee Oil.
That used to be Lee Oil.
Council, any discussion? Do I hear a motion?
Even though it's just a little increase, the convenience of having them right there.
Yes, sir.
Next
We
day
have-
service is amazing.
Yeah, we have a contract with them too.
Yeah.
Pretty much a mutual contract during a storm. We're one of the first ones they deliver to.
I'm good with that.
Council, do I have a motion?
I move to approve the resolution awarding the fiscal year 2025-2026 fuel supply and delivery services contract to Whitener Enterprises, Inc., and authorize the city manager to execute all related documents as presented.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Natalie, roll call.
Councilmember Jeanette?
Yes.
Councilmember Marks?
Yes.
Councilmember Schrader?
Yes.
And Councilmember McCamey?
Yes.
Thank you.
Motion passes.
Thank you.
Item number 3, consideration and possible action authorizing the purchase of 6 Motorola APX N70 handheld radios in an amount not to exceed $44,115.42. Chief Shores.
Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem and Council. In your packet is a bid from Motorola for 6 handheld radios, which we use to communicate each officer to dispatch from various calls for service. The radios we currently have are 16 years old and were considered end of service life by the Motorola Corporation 12/31 of 2023, which means they no longer will repair or service the radios. They say on average 2 to 3 years after that is when you really start having problems getting the replacement parts, such as the knobs, screens, typical things that break in these handheld radios. So as part of the capital improvement plan, we had previously talked about slowly but surely purchasing a handful of radios each year so that we don't face that nominal cost of replacing all of the radios up front. So this is part of the replacement plan.
So I do have a couple questions for you. One, do we have a schedule on what that replacement looks like as far as the remaining radios?
So we do not currently have enough radios for all of our staff. So we are borrowing radios from the fire department right now to cover our last 2 officers. So we have 24 in inventory and we need 26. So as part of this replacement plan, we're adding additional on the back end as we replace. So it's on average 5 to 6 a year for the next 5 years to try to get to that 26 mark and account for a little bit of growth and expansion in the next 5 years, so that we can get up to date with all of this.
Okay, so we're looking at a 5-year window
Yes, sir, 5 to 6
to bring
years.
everything current.
Yes, sir.
And hopefully we're not looking at a continuing, evolving
Right.
radios going out of service at that point, because 5 years, I mean, when will these reach their end of life? I know you can't answer that, I'm just thinking forward.
Yes, sir. And we've been looking for grants to try and be able to find a better option of just taking 5 years to do that. I can tell you that I have a meeting set up, coming up with Seth and Motorola, that we may have a different option out there to be able to try and replace them all sooner. But we don't know all the specifics of that until we have the meeting with Motorola.
Another question I have, and really it's a concern. I see this organization so often being reactive versus proactive. And it's very frustrating. I'm not saying the police department, I'm saying the city as a whole. We tend to be more reactive than proactive. If we knew these radios in 2023 were out of service, no more, we can't get them serviced, we can't get parts, why did we wait till now to start procuring radios? Would it have benefited us to be proactive and start ordering 6 at a time then and get in front of it instead of now taking, I mean, this thing will be out of service almost 10 years by the time we get the last new radio in.
Yes, and I believe there were some other big ticket items that came up, like replacing of the dispatch consoles, which we did last year. And then the year before that, we started the progress of the Motorola transition, building the Motorola CAD system on the back end and everything like that. So, I mean, we had $500,000 of expenses across 2 years of just trying to replace those items, which would roughly take us back to around 2023. And so I believe the discussions had been had, but it wasn't the huge need at the time. And so those discussions got sidelined at that time.
You answered one of my questions, I think, already. Saying you and Seth are gonna talk with Motorola. So we buy directly from Motorola. I mean, we have probably a salesman or something here, but
Correct.
y'all deal with Motorola?
We deal with them
get the
directly,
government
yes, sir.
Discounts or whatever, the
Mhm.
pricing?
Yeah.
Okay. Second thing, was this budget?
Yes, it's part of the capital improvement plan.
You know how,
Yeah, budget, I didn't hear what you asked,
Right.
yeah.
you know, in municipalities, how we get
Right.
work.
Yeah,
I just wanted to make sure we were on that. I figured you were, but makes my decision easier.
yeah, he went a little over the amount that was budgeted, but
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
We'll correct it with these
You know,
funds.
we're not gonna
it's
put you in
like,
the hole for 6 months for that.
like
Sir?
Pro Tem Mark
I'll put you in
said,
the hole for 6 months.
Thank you.
It's $490 over the price. It's, okay, it's $490. We'll take out of these funds. Don't worry about it.
yeah, we're behind and gotta catch, sooner or later, gotta get right.
If I may, we do have these radios on for the next 5 years in
Yes.
the capital improvement plan.
And they'll be budgeted accordingly, okay, with new pricing. And let's just hope that we stay with Motorola and they stay with one system for a while, you know, and nothing changes.
And so that was the last thing I'll bring up, Chief Shores. When you have the conversation with Motorola, ask them if they can give you a life expectancy on this radio. When they foresee in the future, we may have to start phasing it out. And if it's gonna fall within that window, halfway through this window, do we start phasing in
The new
the
radio.
one coming behind it?
Right. Yes, sir.
That's all I've got, council. Anything else? Do I hear a motion?
I move to authorize the purchase of 6 Motorola AVX N70 handheld radios from Motorola Solutions for an amount not to exceed $44,115.42.
Second.
Been motioned and seconded. Natalie, roll call?
Councilmember Schrader,
Yes.
Councilmember McCamey,
Yes.
Councilmember Jeanette,
Yes.
and Councilmember Marks.
Yes. All right, item number, where are we at? Number 4. Consideration of possible action authorizing the purchase of 2 custom singles Eagle 3 in-car radars and 2 insulated heat shield kits in an amount not to exceed $5,873.58. Chief Shores?
So before you is proposed purchase for 2 of the custom signal in-car radios. It's what we use to run stationary radar, moving radar, check the speeds of the vehicles that are passing, approaching. It has various functions to do that with. So basically what we run traffic with in the police car. We came to find that with the purchase of the 2 Dodge Durangos back in May of 2025, that we did not actually purchase radars for those vehicles. So now we're coming to realize that, so we're having to go back and purchase these radars for these vehicles so that they will have the option to run traffic and use the radar for that portion of it.
So I know there was go ahead, Mr.
What did we purchase a little while back? Was it handheld? It's been a while. Don't we have some handheld too?
Yes, sir, we do have some handhelds,
Okay.
yes, sir. Yeah, some handheld Doppler radars from the same company.
Okay.
Initially, there was some miscommunication, I think, around whether these were for the Chargers or for the Durangos, but they are for the Durangos.
Yes, sir. The Chargers are fully upfitted and they are in service, issued to officers being used on the streets right now.
And so just for clarity, not having the radars in the Durangos has not prohibited them from doing their job. There was some concern around the officers not being able to do traffic because the vehicles didn't have radar. These 2 Durangos haven't even been put on the road yet. We've been waiting on upfitters
Yeah.
to finish them out. So
I got a question.
just wanted to clear that up. Before we get to you, Mr. Schrader, the only thing I'm going to ask Chief Shores, and Mr. Collins can work with you on that, and y'all can manage it however you want, but I would really like to see a punch list when we have new vehicles come in of basic mandatory things that have to be upfitted to these patrol vehicles.
Yes, sir. The captain and I spoke of that this week and we've already started creating that list.
Good, good. That way we can mitigate this for
Yes, sir.
future occurrence. Councilman Schrader, you had something?
Okay, and this is probably not, it's just how this is written. Okay, this expenditure is going to be $5873.58. And then I go to the next one, amount, it says amount budgeted $228,000. And then we go on down, and then we have 157, or whatever we're gonna have for these next 2 items, and it's still 228,000. What all is coming at, where is this 228,000?
So it was a mistake. It was a mistake on the amount budgeted line.
Okay.
That is the amount that we have in the vehicle replacement
For
fund.
the whole fund, okay.
Right. And so these funds are actually gonna come out of the seized funds account from the police department.
Thank you.
So it was a typo on
I
that.
didn't know,
I was looking at the same
oh,
thing.
I didn't understand. I kind of figured it came out, but
Yes, sir.
got you now.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
I didn't know if we had this as a certain account we were taking, and, just trickling down till we got to 0.
Council, no further conversation. Do I have a motion?
Make a motion to purchase of 2 custom signals in-car radios from Custom Signals, Inc. for an amount not to exceed $58,73.58.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Natalie, roll call?
Councilmember Marks,
Yes.
Councilmember Schrader,
Yes,
Councilmember McCamey,
Yes.
and Councilmember Jeanette.
Yes.
All right, item number 5, consideration and possible action authorizing the purchase of 2 Dodge Durangos from Texas First Response Services for the use as patrol vehicles for the Santa Fe Police Department in an amount not to exceed $78,758.68. including all upfitting cost. Chief Shores.
I know I'm asking for a lot tonight, but this is the last one, I promise.
I promise it
Nice,
is too.
still young.
For tonight, anyways. So before you, we have included the bids for the actual vehicles, the bids for all the upfitting, and the bids for all the equipment. We narrowed it all down to this one page, so it makes it a little bit easier to read, that lists the vehicle with the upfitters and then the prices. So the previous Durangos, we were using the upfitter Maltech Technologies. They're over in the Pearland area. We have come into some issues with them about timing. They came in as the cheapest bid last year, and they had given us timelines on equipment that they did not meet. They've given us timelines on upfitting that they have not met. And so they seem to be pushing us off because we're the little guy, is what it looks like. We are in constant contact with them about the previous vehicles, the Durangos right now. They're being upfitted. We're making site visits with them, and finally, I think it was last week, they said, hey, all your equipment's finally here. You can bring your first Durango to get upfitted. And that would be one of the Durangos that we got back in May. So we decided to try a newer upfitter that we learned about. They've been in the upfitting game for a little while, but they're in the Dickinson area. They did all of Hitchcock's fleet, and they got a very good recommendation from Hitchcock. They're doing some Cy-Fair Independent School District fleet right now. We went over there, site visit, and it was it's a nice facility. And so while they're not the lowest bid, he is basically guaranteeing us that he can meet the timelines that he's telling us, which is about 6 to 8 weeks on equipment. And then once we have everything there, he's saying 2 to 3 weeks on upfitting, which is a much better timeline than, it's a very similar timeline to what Maltech gave us, but they're not holding to. And so, again, we don't necessarily want to use Maltech again. And I know they're the lowest bid, but we can't afford.
Sit on
Yeah.
patrol vehicles for 6 months.
We can't. It's killing us.
Where's Maltech?
They're in Pearland, off of Pearland Sykes Road, I believe is where.
Texas First was in Dickinson,
They're off of Highway 3 in Dickinson, yes, sir.
Galveston County.
Yes, sir.
Anything else, Chief Shores?
This is part of the vehicle replacement plan. It's budgeted.
So what does our schedule look like right now on the replacement plan?
So, hang on, it's small. So this year, we're slated to purchase 2 vehicles. And then we will officially be away from the Ford Explorers in the police fleet, with the exception of repurposing one Explorer to possibly the COP car to replace the Crown Vic. That's a 2008 model. And then, yeah, but that's 2 for this year, and then I believe we start to move to the 3 to 4 vehicles per year after that. Is that correct,
I
Drew?
think it's 4,
4.
we're going to 4 vehicles next year.
Okay.
To try and keep up with the need on the Tahoes.
Rudy, these are what we discussed in the budgeting process, correct?
Yeah.
So
Keep those
will these 2 new Durangos, will these be the 2 we need to finish the move to CID?
Yes, so with these 2 that would be purchased this year, they would, Lieutenant Booty's white F-150 would be redone, or we would basically take the decals off of it, tint the windows, and that one would be moved into CID, and then he would get one of the Tahoes that gets phased out of patrol. With that same, Captain Garcia's Explorer, with authorization, would go to auction, and then Captain Garcia would also get one of the Tahoes that gets phased out of patrol for his assigned vehicle. And then we have 2 F-150s and the Jeep in CID.
Okay, so that will be all three that we initially wanted for CID?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
good deal.
And this is the 2 vehicles for this year?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Gotcha.
And they would be $79,416.68 per vehicle for a total of $157,517.36 for both vehicles, which is under the budgeted $228,000.
Do you know what the delivery time is on the?
We are told the 26 Durangos are in stock on the lot. So we are told that once we present them with a PO, we could go physically pick them up. The dealership is in the Huntsville area and get them down here. Then we would present the PO to the upfitter. It would be 6 to 8 weeks on equipment according to the upfitter, right? Is that a correct timeline? Yes, sir. 6 to 8 weeks? Yes, sir. And then another 4 weeks for upfitting.
So I guess my question is, based on our experience with waiting on equipment for upfitting,
Yeah.
if this is approved tonight, could we put a purchase order in play for the upfitting immediately so the materials can get ordered and we're not waiting on that?
Yeah, I could write the POs in the morning and get them over to finance so that we could get those issued out. And then we could
Then that's
send them
supposed to
straight
be
over.
ordered. They're waiting on that
Get
while
the
we go
equipment
pick
going.
up vehicles.
Yes, sir.
This approves the outfitting, right?
It does. We just,
Yeah,
I just want to get the purchase order in so we're not waiting.
Yeah, there'll be multiple, to be honest with you, because we deal direct with Motorola, we deal direct with Panasonic, and us as law enforcement agency dealing direct with these vendors, we get a better price than the upfitters, in all honesty. So the main things that they supply to us are consoles and mounts and lighting, push bumpers, and we procure a lot of the other equipment ourselves and then give it to them to install, because we can get the better prices.
Yeah, the outfitter's gonna pay more and then they're gonna bump it up.
This guy hasn't seemed to be that way with us.
No, you're purchasing the upfitting outright. What I'm
Yeah.
saying is,
Yeah,
these
some of the equipment, yes,
contractors
sir.
buy the material, then they move the price up, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, council, any further questions? Not, do I hear a motion?
I'm not gonna make the motion because I don't know how to say that.
which news?
I move to purchase both vehicles from Wisniewski CDJR Tips USA Contract 240901, and upfitting be completed by Texas First Response Services.
Second.
All right, it's been moved and seconded. Natalie, roll call?
Councilmember Schrader,
Yes.
Councilmember McCamey,
Yes.
Councilmember Jeanette,
Yes.
and Councilmember Marks.
Yes.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
All right, item number 6, city manager, would you like to pick that one up?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and pick it up. I wanted to introduce Mr. Manny Renta as our new fire marshal for the city of Santa Fe. Mr. Renta comes to us from far, far away, from the city of Pharr, Texas, where he served for 26 years in a variety of roles, and most recently as their fire marshal. But we're excited to welcome him to the Santa Fe team and look forward to his leadership and to having a fire marshal here that serves with integrity and has an outstanding work ethic. So, Manny, we're glad to have you here and to join the team. And I know all of our residents will look forward to getting to meet you, and we know you're going to do a great job for us.
Appreciate it. Glad you're here, Manny.
Welcome.
Thank you. My family, half my family was from Pharr. Long time to go.
All right, item number 7.
All right.
Consideration and possible action, appointment or reappointment of a municipal court judge for a 2-year term to expire in November 2027. Mr. Collins.
Yes, so Judge Tittle's previous agreement expired a couple years ago, and this is the reappointment, which is just a housekeeping item to bring him current. He'll be reappointed for a 2-year term at his existing compensation of $1,800 a month or $21,600 a year. Judge Tittle has done a fantastic job for us in the court, and I'm very confident in his ability to continue on in the future. And so, as you could see, we brought in significant revenue. He's done a good job with helping bring revenue in for us. So it's my recommendation that we reappoint him as a judge for another 2-year term.
Council, any conversation?
We need to make a motion on it? All right, do I hear a motion?
I didn't hear the name, so I'm gonna go so moved.
Judge Tittle?
I make a motion to appoint Judge Tittle, approve his reappointment to municipal court judge for a 2-year term to expire November 2027.
Second.
All right, it's been moved and seconded. Natalie, roll call?
Councilmember Jeanette,
Yes.
Councilmember Marks,
Yes.
Councilmember Schrader,
Yes.
and Councilmember McCamey.
So close.
Almost,
So close.
almost.
All right, item number 8, discussion and possible action regarding discontinuing services of the Associate Municipal Court Judge for the City of Santa Fe. Mr. Collins?
All right, so our Associate Judge Rottenberry receives a monthly stipend of $400 a month, but he's not been called into magistrate in the past couple of years, so in an effort to be fiscally responsible and conserve taxpayer resources, I'm recommending that we discontinue his services as the Associate Judge. And just like Judge Tittle, his agreement has been out for the last couple of years, so I think it's appropriate this time to cut those services and save that $4,800 a year that we have put towards his services.
Council, any conversation?
I move to
I
discontinue.
got some conversation on it before we talk about it. When will his last paycheck be?
For the month of November.
Okay. I've got a hard time with this one. Contract was out 2 years ago. So I'm guessing this is something that was signed when Glenn was still, when we signed this into being a contract?
That's correct.
Okay. I wasn't on council then. And then we've been out of this for 2 years. This is, I understand you don't want to pay anybody for not doing their job or for not, but there's a different side to this too, on why we don't use him. And 2 of the people that are absent tonight probably we're here to make these decisions as council members. I don't feel good stopping this. I mean, we have to stop it. But I would say we give him a 60-day notice, 2 payments. Not just stop something like this out of the blue, where he's been getting a check for 4 years, apparently. And then we just stop something. I'd like to see 60 days. I'd like to see him paid at least, well, let's just say through the end of the year, paid December 2. Make it through December.
What do we pay him a year?
$4,800 a year.
Yeah.
So it'd be $400 a month.
$400 and something.
When's the last time he provided a service for us?
I can't find record of that. It's been a few years.
Yeah.
He hadn't done anything in 2 years?
Mm-mm.
And so the municipal court judge, he magistrates?
He does.
In the past, when he wasn't able to provide those services, the mayor did that. Is that still?
That's still an option for our mayor now. Most of the time that if he can't, we hadn't had an instance of that since I've been here.
Right.
But if he can't, that the county will take it over for us.
See, I get into the finance part of this. By using him, how much money could we retain if we actually used our jail instead of using our jail as a transfer? That's where I get into something that probably doesn't need to be discussed up.
Yeah, I don't think that that's a conversation for here tonight.
Right.
But, the reason I'm looking through each of our contracts, which y'all know, I mean, I've only been here for 3 months. But I'm looking through each of our contracts and I'm, trying to conserve tax dollars where we can. And I would rather use that, towards drainage or something that, would affect the lives of all of our citizens. Not that his services would not, if he was utilized, but we haven't had to utilize them, and so this is just a low-hanging fruit item to me that we can.
I can fully appreciate that, Sid.
Yeah.
But I'm just talking about how we got here. And I know this was all for you, but
I understand.
and you're finding things, and this just happens to be one of them.
That's right.
I agree. We don't pay for, but there's a second side to this. And like I said, it's not something to be discussed up here. But we can have this vote if we want, or we can table it.
I move to discontinue services of the Associate Municipal Court Judge for the City of Santa Fe.
Second.
Move's been made and seconded. Natalie, roll call?
Councilmember Marks?
Yes.
Councilmember Schrader?
No.
Councilmember McKamey?
Yes.
And Councilmember Jeanette?
Yes.
Motion passes. Number 9, executive session closed to the public pursuant to Chapter 551.087 Texas Government Code regarding economic development negotiation.
Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, do you want to do comments before we go into executive session, if there's any other comments?
We can.
Announcements,
absolutely.
announcements?
We can, absolutely.
I mean, I don't have any, but
We'll back up from that, and if we have any announcements to make, we'll go ahead and do that, so our citizens can be excused if they choose to.
November 29th at 7 p.m. is the Santa Slam at the Firehouse, another wrestling event to bring in toys and money to help. Is it the Blue Santa?
I think it is.
Okay. So entrance is either a new toy or a cash donation, and doors open at 6:30, and the event starts at 7.
I'd like to remind everybody about we won't see you before then, but the tree lighting at May S. Bruce Library, and then the Christmas parade the following, I believe, Friday, maybe Saturday, but.
Saturday. The 6th.
Okay, but I know all that's on the city's Facebook page, and they're keeping that up to date on the events that are happening around town. It looks good. And there's just a lot of things, happy Thanksgiving, happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Hope everybody gets a nice stuffed turkey and ham or whatever they eat, and have fun with friends and family.
And I just want to remind everybody of our Santa Fe, our Christmas market that's going to take place on Saturday, November 29th, so the Saturday following Thanksgiving from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're going to have several vendors, so we'll hope that you'll come out and buy some Christmas gifts and have a good time celebrating with us. And as Councilman Schrader mentioned, we're having our Christmas tree lighting at the Joe A. Tamburella Park, and then at our May S. Bruce Library on Wednesday, December 3rd at 5 p.m. And we're going to have quite the lineup out there with entertainment. So I hope that each of you will come and enjoy and spend time celebrating Christmas with us. And that's all I have for tonight.
Anybody else?
I would like to thank the volunteers. I know we talked about Heritage Festival, but I know we had a lot of volunteers from the city out there. And everybody everything I heard, it was a success. And for everybody that worked out there volunteering, thank you very much.
I went this year and I won't go back, I got locked up.
I saw that. They should have kept you.
You too?
Yep, me too.
And the wife standing there with a $20 bill in front of her, waving at me.
So, the mayor locked me up, and, but my number 3 son bailed me out, so we're good. We're good.
Anything else? All right, 7:54. We'll pause this regular scheduled council meeting and enter executive session.
Put the hammer down.
Ready when you are.
Easy, Cressy.
Oh, well.
Right, 8:30, we close the executive session and reopen the normal council meeting.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Been moved and seconded.
Good night.
Let's go home.
That's all, folks.